Hi, everyone. I've been talking quite a bit about this grand water trine happening today. It's been slowly coming into an exact over the last couple of weeks, and it's going to be around for another few weeks. And I've just been seeing it, the theme of water being mirrored back within the collective through a lot of different channels. Not just YouTube channels, but life, life channels and different communities and in different ways, different shapes, different forms. And so this grand water trine is quite real. And there's a lot of things that we're going to be moving through, a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of changes. Water is extremely cleansing. And I feel like it's cleansing, it's giving us a moment in time to truly cleanse anything that we are clinging onto that is really no longer serving us or the collective, each other. And so the power of this grand water trine is coming in at a time when um, this fresh new chapter, this fresh energy just began. And it happened rather quickly through the change of the seasons from spring to fall. And everyone felt it, and everyone started talking about this kind of in-between space that we've been in. I felt it. I feel like this change of seasons was more dramatic than many that came before it. Trying to think back to the last time I felt such a shift, but the shift has been pretty dramatic. And so it's quite interesting the power of this grand water trine being present right after that shift, where everybody is kind of fresh, almost newborn babies in this space, open to this new cycle and what's going to be unfolding. And then with the grand water trine, quite a few planets are in retrograde. So it's as if this new chapter opened up. We're sailing towards a new destination and not necessarily a great big storm, but definitely waves um, and turbulence arising at the same time as all of this retrograde. So our minds, our heart, our being is going back over previous lessons through this last cycle. So we're starting fresh, and yet we have all this direction moving us backwards and really getting us to go over with a fine comb some of the details of what we've experienced. And so it feels like a momentum forward and a pull backwards, which I think is this space of the grand water trine. And for me, it started with Venus entering Scorpio, trining Jupiter, and I was invited to participate in an ancient ceremony strongly rooted in a South American tradition. And I accepted, and it was all about this feminine, watery energy and the female wisdom keepers providing a space for birthing to occur, for nurturing to occur, and for wisdom to arise. And it was such a beautiful, powerful day. And because it was rooted in a very strong tradition that goes back, every item within that experience was crafted specifically for that type of ceremony. And every section of it, it lasted for the whole day. Every section of it felt complete. Like, wow, this is already incredible. And I'm very content with the experience. And then there was just more, these layers and layers that kept on adding on to the experience that gave me a real sense of completion and wholeness by the time it was done. And that's what kicked off this grand water trine for me. So I've been in this very deep, watery space, this very deep feminine space. Um, and I'm kind of waiting for the water to break. Today, because the grand water trine is exact, I have really started to feel the potency of what this is bringing through. But since that first day when Venus entered Scorpio, I've been sharing with people about what this energy is, how it's coming in, how I'm piecing it together for myself, and how we can navigate through this energy while gaining the most from it to assist us in moving forwards. Because water can be overwhelming. It's easy to operate, in that mental space when emotion isn't present. But when presence brings forth all this emotional, these feelings, the mind sort of gets pushed aside. All of these things get pushed aside, and emotions are so powerful. We're just left to experience them and to observe and to engage with them and feel them to their fullest so that we can be transformed through them. And so today I felt that potency, the kind of the filling up, the ocean being full and being immersed in it, and really finally feeling that release of just not resisting the water energy. Um, I went to different sources to try and understand this energy as I felt it coming in. And um, what was coming through as a vision for me was this great big ocean and the grand water trine with all these planets in retrograde for doing the work. And we're really allowing what the energy is presenting to us, why it's presenting to us, and what it wants to do. If we allow that to happen, the ocean can part. And this has nothing to do with the biblical story of the parting of the Red Sea at all. This is really, it's a collective process that I believe is happening where because we have over water, there's an opening between these different um, oceans that connect the spheres around the planet. And each time we, hit that upper ceiling, we come to a firmament, a watery space that separates the dimensions and within the spheres. And that is breaking open. These watery firmaments are breaking open and allowing information, allowing us, our souls, to connect with a greater level of ourselves, these greater layers of awareness that we're connected to. And so the waters open up, we connect to that outer layer. Again, the waters open up, we connect to that outer layer. And so we are in the space of water over water over water. And that opening is really allowing us to, as we experience the water energy and the cleansing of it and the purification and the emotional tides, all of the emotions, just allowing ourselves to experience it, we are able to receive really clear insight about everything that we're closing from the previous cycle, which was quite a long cycle, like many years, maybe 7 or 9, but in that range. And so it's allowing us to really finalize and come to closure with a process that we've been involved with during that time, all these different processes, different learning cycles that we've been engaged in. But we have to stay present. And this other theme, which is something that I've understood a long time ago, is that experience is the only true thing we have, which is also presence and being in the moment. So even as our minds, all this retrograding energy is pulling us into the past or prophesizing about the future, really all we have is this now moment where everything can assimilate and be integrated, come into wholeness, so that we have a really strong and fresh foundation to move forward with into this new cycle, which is going to last for a good 7, 9 years. And we are being asked, as these waters become turbulent, whether you started experiencing them earlier this week or them coming into their fullness today or in the weeks that follow, as these turbulent waters come in to assist us with integration and wholeness and coming into the fullness of our being, because our emotions are such an important part of our experience. We can't intellectualize everything. We have to feel what we are experiencing. And whatever we didn't allow ourselves to feel, it's going to come up right now. And what is being shown to me is that in order to move forward through whatever is coming up emotionally, we have to really embrace the element of water. We have to embrace that feminine energy, whether you're a masculine or a feminine, whether you're a man or a woman. And what that equates to is being the river or being the ocean and allowing yourself to flow as the river flows. The river doesn't care that there are rocks and logs and obstructions in the water. It really doesn't care. It moves around things. It comes up to whatever the obstruction is and it just flows around it. And there's a gracefulness, there's a grace to watching the immense power of water flowing. So if the dam breaks because emotions weren't processed or because they need to be processed as this water over water energy hits our charts, hits our lives in a profound way, that water that the dam releases just needs to flow. It doesn't need to be controlled. You're not stronger if you resist and don't allow tears that need to come forward to come forward. That is not strength. The strength here is in the vulnerability, in allowing what the water, what the emotion needs to show you, needs to teach you. We're being taught by the water element right now. And so, as the water, being the wave, just does what it does, it comes crashing down. It moves quickly, it moves slowly. It's just allowing, it's mutable. It just allows itself to flow. And where we can find the center in that is in finding the eye of the storm and in staying grounded firmly into your foundation, right? The foundations of your energetic template, your energetic field, and moving forwards as you allow the water to be experienced, moving forwards one step at a time and taking care of all the basic things, the self-care, the nourishment, the sleep, the nourishing of others, and work, creativity, because this is where it's going. It's going towards a creative outburst, a creative expression that wants to come through. That's what this water is fueling. It's a healing, but it's fueling and allowing for creativity coming from deep within your soul to emerge. And the collective is experiencing this as well. More recently, all of these channels that had been censored online came back online. And all that creative energy started pouring back into the public space of social media. That's going to ripple out massively. And it's going to affect the collective consciousness. But that's what's happening within every individual. Wherever we've been holding ourselves back and restraining the energy, the creative energy, it is going to burst forth. Everything is mirroring itself everywhere. And so this collective energy is an individual movement as well. And this is ultimately bringing forth a grand creative expression. Within people, we are going to be able to hold more space for more of this energy. We just have to allow ourselves to experience fully what this is bringing in right now and throughout the rest of the month. And yes, it will be intense because raw creative energy is primal, but it's also revolutionary. It's also beckoning in this new paradigm, this new cycle. which is completely full of potential. It's full of solutions. It's full of majesty. It is what we've been calling in. It is the culmination of all the work we've done in the previous cycle. So let's embrace it. Let's allow ourselves to hold space for it and just allow that energy to pump through. Yes, it will shift your consciousness. Yes, it will feel sometimes too expansive. It will affect the mind. It's creating space for more. And we have to just allow that to happen without resistance, because that's what this new cycle is about. But we have to finalize any unfinished details from that previous cycle. It's feminine in nature, it's ancient wisdom. It can be a very dark space. It's very yin. Your dreams are going to be speaking to you. Writing is going to be really powerful right now. Any journaling, any type of introspective work that you can do, just staying present with this energy and allowing what wants to come forth to come forth. This is an incredible time. And I'm inviting you all to visualize the waters opening, just as the waters break before a woman gives birth. This is happening for the collective, and the waters are opening. The waters are parting to allow us a passageway through these different firmaments, through these different spheres, these different dimensions, so we can encompass more of who we are on a soul level. Allow yourself to feel the emotions, whatever that is. That does not make you weak. I have to repeat this because crying or feeling emotions is equated often with weakness, but it's not. That vulnerability is where all of the insight comes in through. So we need to stay open to this and truly just embrace, take time for ourselves, be strong, continue to do all the little things that keep you grounded and that will allow you to really integrate all of this happening. I'm wishing you all an incredible rest of the month. And if you'd like to do a reading with me for astrology to look at your transits, to see where all of these water signs are falling, all of these planets are falling in your houses, what houses they're affecting the most, so that you can have a little bit more clarity on what this is bringing up for you and assisting you with, then you can go to inspiringplayfulevolutions.com. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care.